What's up, guys? How's it going? So, I got my next part of my vinyl collection to show. This is episode 13, I think. So, yeah, let's get into it. If you see the quality slightly different, I bought a new computer because my old one was a piece of crap that didn't really work. So, hopefully, this is better quality than actually using my phone to record videos. But who knows? If it kind of isn't that good, let me know. But I'll see. So, if you can hear what we're listening to, one of my favorite Death Doom records. This is Unholy with From the Shadows. Finished Death Doom from '93 originally on Peaceville, so yeah. They got kind of a little bit pretty weird after this record, but this is definitely, I think, their best in my opinion. But I like all this stuff, but I definitely prefer this one, so yep. Good old Finished Death Doom. This is a good reissue from 2020, from last year from Peaceville, so yeah. Hail to Peaceville for doing a proper reissue of this record. This version has the Holy Hell Kill Jesus 1989 pre-Unholy demo on it too, so yeah. Good shit. Alrighty, so first up, one of the best black metal trilogies in my opinion. Satyricon, I got the first three, so let's talk about the debut first. Dark Medieval Times, originally 1994 from Moonfog, I believe. Yep, I think it's Moonfog, that's who they did this vinyl reissue, because this was long out of print until 2021, so glad they finally got the repress that it deserved. People will complain because of the other artwork. I don't mind it, granted. Is this as good as the OG artwork? No, the OG artwork's definitely better, but I think this one's pretty cool too, though. So this is kind of different from the next two, because this, I would say, is almost like a kind of like folky, atmospheric black metal record, opposed to the next two. But yeah, so definitely a lot of bands that would come later, like a lot of the like U.S. bands from the modern era, definitely take a lot of influence from this record specifically. So anyway, there's the front. Then the back, dudes in the band, logo again, Moonfog, Napalm, 2021. Favorite track on this one is definitely Walk the Path of Sorrow, or the first song on side B, Sky Digams. That, pretty cool acoustic track. Definitely one of my favorites by them. Nice gatefold, there were the two dudes, Sado and Frost. Here's insert one, another pictures. And then we got insert 2 with all the lyrics. Both on black vinyl. I know there was a like box set version that had this and the Shadow thrown together, but that was more expensive, so I just went for this. But yep. Check it out, definitely one of the best black metal debuts and one of the best records from Norway. So that is Satyricon, Dark Medieval Times. Then the Shadow Throne. Before this repress happened, I did not own this record in any format, and I had Dark Medieval Times and Nemesis Divina for a while on different formats, so this one is the one I'm the least familiar with, but this is like a slightly different record. It's more like symphonic, kind of like the first demo record, early Emperor, early Old Man's Child, definitely more in that vein than the more atmospheric version of the debut, but I only have one problem with this record. They ended with a kind of like slow acoustic track, which I think that would have been a better like better midpoint in the album to put that in instead of ending it with the track. It seemed like it would have been a better interlude than a closing track, but that's just me. Anyway, there's the front. This one, unlike the original, this one has way better cover art. Then the back, track listing again, Moonfog, Napalm. Gatefold. Oops, let me show you that. Here's inner sheet numero uno. And then number 2. Very cool. Yeah, my favorite on this one is definitely In the Mist by the Hills. That is one of their best songs. Or The King of the Shadow Throne. But yeah. Good record, but I still prefer the first and the third. Nemesis Divina, definitely the most aggressive of the first 3. I don't know if it's Nocturnal Koto's influence to join this record or what, but they definitely went for like faster, more aggressive style than the first 2. But anyway, fun of this one. Some people say it's their favorite. I prefer the debut, but this one's my second favorite. So anyway, there's the front with the dead bird. The back, the tracks. Again, this is a Napalm 2016 reissue, which is I think when I bought this record. So I've had this one for a while. Gatefold, there you go, there's Nocturnal, I think that's him. We add a picture of that. Here's the Goofy poster that has all three of them. Pretty awesome and nerdy. Here's the insert. Very cool. Is Nocturno. Yep. There's old Nocturno Coldtail. And after this record, I'm not very familiar with them, so if you can recommend me the best, like, post-Nemesis one to check out, I'll give it a listen, but yeah. First three records are definitely essential in my books, that is Satirico. Let's go to the New Jersey for one of my favorite death metal records of the last 15 years. Kind of fitting since we're listening to this. This was probably influence on this band, maybe. This is Dismal Towards the Megalith, so they're the most well known for having Craig Pillard from Incantation on vocals. I think he did some guitars too, but I don't remember offhand, but yeah. Honestly, Incantation after Blasphemy got kind of boring, but this I think is miles better than anything Incantation's done since Blasphemy. And I even maybe like this more than that record and a couple of the classic ones, but that's just me, so yep. Killer record put out through Profane Lore in 2018 reissue. This came out originally in 2011, but I jumped on the 2018 reissue. This was harder to find after that for a while, but I think they reissued it last year, so it should be easy to find again. So yep, there's that. Back, tracks, all that nice stuff. Gatefold. Very cool picture. Yep, just black vinyl. Here's the lyric sheet. Very cool. So man, if you like super heavy crush and death metal, if you like the Funebre record, Sleep of Morbid Dreams, and you want something in that vein too, check this out. Wish they would do another full length, but we'll see someday, hopefully. So yep. Dismal Towards the Megalith, essential modern classic. Let's go to an old school classic. This is Demolik with Nespith. 1993, originally on Pavement, I believe. This is a Svart reissue from 2017, I believe. I don't have the Adversary of Emptiness anniversary demo compilation thing. I'll get that eventually, but I'm good for the full length. So this is definitely one of those divisive records because of the vocals and the music is super, like, skronky and awkward. Like, if you were to hand a guitar to the taps for this record and say, oh, I play this stuff, they would be like, what am I supposed to do with this? It's, like, super weird and out there. And the vocals literally sound like a guy who's like a bullfrog trying to sing death metal, which is pretty cool, which I used to hate it at first, but I love it now. It just takes a while to get used to their super weird and out there vocals and even the, like, avant-garde proggy guitar tone and guitar riffs, anyway. There's the front. Definitely the better of the two artworks, if I do say so myself, anyway. There you go. There's the back tracks, which the song titles are ridiculous, like When the Sun Drank the Fright of Water, the 16th Six-Toothed Son of the 44 Regional Dimensional, still unanimated. Within the Chambers of Whispering Eyes, You Will Remain in Pieces and Nothingness. Pretty crazy if I didn't say this is a Svart reissue. Here is the inner sleeve, or insert rather. Hey man, if you like super weird, out there, proggy, unique sounding death metal, there's nothing that sounded like this before, nothing since. Bands have tried, but nothing can beat the original, so yep. Demolik Nespith, Essential Fin Death from 93. Alright, let's go to Brazil in 87, I believe. So this is Holocausto with Campo de Exterminato. Brazilian black metal from the early days. It's on Cogumelo Records, so you kind of know what that sounds like. It says 1990, but I know it was earlier, so it says 2015, so maybe those were the 2 years the reissues came out. This is definitely not a 1990 pressing, though. This is a 2015 reissue. So, man, if you like the early black thrash stuff from Brazil, like your Sarcophago, the first record, early Sepultura, sex trash, stuff like that, this is definitely one of the best records in that scene, in my opinion. So, anyway, there's the front of this one. Very cool. Honestly, after this, they changed and got kind of bad, but this record is definitely the best, in my opinion. So, anyway. Cool guys. Cool Gas Mask Dude, again, put out through Grey Haze and Cogumelo. Very sweet. Here's the insert. or lyric sheet rather. Very cool pictures. I want a t-shirt with that guy on it. That'd be an awesome album art. Apparently they have a new band. Once these guys broke up in like 2020, they've had a new band. I think they're called like Holocauster Day War Metal or something, and apparently they're playing in this style again. I haven't heard that material, but if it's any good, if it's actually true that they do play in this style, let me know and I'll give it a listen. Shit, man, definitely one of the best OG Brazilian black thrash records. So that is Holocausto Campe do Exterminato. Great record. Let's go to Canada for a little bit, talking about some Razor. So unfortunately, I only have these two, which they're pretty different from each other. So this record is their first EP from, I think, 82, 83. If you know Razor for being a thrash band, obviously this is not. This is more just like kind of straight up fast heavy metal, which they were definitely influenced by Exciter a lot back in the day, which you can hear. This sounds like it could have come out in between Heavy Metal Breakdown and... Was it Heavy Metal Breakdown? Is that it? The debut record, and between that and Long Live the Loud, it could have come in between those records. So yeah, good record, but my only problem with it is it could have been easily a 10-inch because it has basically a lot of the same songs repeated, but oh well. Anyway, there's the front. Definitely a super iconic early 80s album cover though, I will say that. Then the back, guys in the band. Dave Carlo, the only OG member left, I think. Where is he at? Yep. Anyway, this is a Relapse reissue from 2020 that I found, I think, in the Amoeba, I want to say, in Frisco. Here's the lyrics. Highlight on this record is definitely is a Take This Torch. Yeah, Take This Torch, the title track, and Fast and Loud are definitely my three favorites on this one. So yep. If you want them at the most traditional metal influence record, this is a good one to start with. So that is Razor Armed and Dangerous EP. But their best is definitely this, which I want to get like Evil Invaders too, but they're one of those bands, I don't know why, but like whenever I'm looking for records online, I don't think to buy a Razor record. They're one of those bands where if I see one in a record store, I'll pick it up, but the problem is I've never actually seen one in a while besides the EP. I actually bought this online, but besides the EP, I've never seen a single other album by them for sale, even on CD, which is kind of odd, but oh well. This is definitely a lot more aggressive than that first EP. This is when they went full on, well, they went full thrash before this, but this was definitely their most extreme and in your face, because the record before this, Custom Killing, was their most experimental, which that record kind of isn't good at all. It's proggy, but not in like a cool, interesting, like Voivod way. It's kind of proggy, like this is kind of dumb way, but this one is definitely one of the best thrash records from the late 80s. This came out in 88, I think originally on Road Racer, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, their last record was Sheepdog on vocals, but oh well. The guy that got to replace him isn't bad, but he's no Sheepdogs. Anyway, this is the front. Love that painting, or the picture. Back, the guys in the band, very cool. You can see Sheepdog. Unfortunately, his last record, but oh well. This is 2019 High Roller reissue, which is sweet. Comes with a big ass poster, which is cool. Nice album cover. And this is on a nice kind of gunmetal gray. Pretty sweet if I do say so myself. So man, if you like super violent, in-your-face thrash, this is definitely one of the best records from that time period. So Razor, Violent Restitution. Maybe my favorite Canadian thrash record is either this or Sacrifices Fall to Determination, but you have to put a gun to my head, maybe decide. I couldn't choose. It would be a hard decision, but both of those rule. Let's go to Chicago for a band I'm not really a huge fan of, but this record and the first album and the EP are all awesome. This is Macabre with Sinister Slaughter, so they are like a thrash, death, grind band. They have a pretty unique sound, like no one sounds like them. I mean, another band like Demolic could be divisive because of the vocals, but besides like having like the super like aggressive thrash vocal, they have this like manic, super like someone being murdered with a chainsaw, like insane yell style, which could be a bit much, and if they only use that, I wouldn't be into it, but I'm glad they only use it every once in a while as like a flavor to pick up their like typical aggressive death thrash style. But yeah, Obviously, if you know them, they're notorious for all the songs being about serial killers, which you can tell this is like a fake parody of the Beatles album Sgt. Pepper, which on the back you can see even more. Like how all the different tracks or names of songs are like dedicated to serial killers. So it's like Gacy's Law, John Wayne Gacy. Is It Soup Yet, Daniel Westcroft. Mary Bell, Mary Bell. The Boston Strangler, Albert De Silvero, and so on and so forth. So you can look at that for a second. This is a Nuclear Blast 2023 reissue, which is cool. So anyway, fun of that one. Show you the back again. The guy's eating dinner. And they're one of the few bands who've been around forever, and they have all original members, which is pretty cool. Although they're not exactly very active, so it's kind of not hard, but oh well. Here's the record. I call this like Clown Puke, which I don't remember the album name, the variant name, but it looks like Clown Vomit, so that's what I call it. You can even see the center label has the Zodiac dude. Man, honestly, this isn't even my favorite record by them. That would definitely be probably the Grim Reality EP. But favorite full length is definitely the debut Gloom. After this, hit or miss, and most of it I'm not really into, but this is definitely a good record. That is Macabre Sinister Slaughter. So if you want some crazy, kind of insane thrash, grind, death metal stuff, check it out. Macabre Sinister Slaughter. Let's go to Greece, one of my favorite records from the old Hellenic scene. This is Necromantia with Scarlet Evil, Witching Black. Another band I'm not a huge fan of because after this they kind of fell off. And I don't even really like the debut record all that much, but this one is definitely one of my favorite records from that entire Greek scene. So this came out in I think 94 or 95 on Osmos. This is Osmos 2014 reissue. Glad they used this album cover because there was a different version I think on CD that somebody repressed with ulterior artwork that was completely garbage, so I'm glad that they used this one. If you know them, they're definitely notorious for their unique sound because unlike most metal bands, they use two bass players and no actual guitarists. They had a 4-string bass player and a 6-string bass player, which definitely gives them a very unique sound. So nobody sounds like that, which if you were paying attention, if you had this in the background, you couldn't tell, but like listening to it, you can if you actually pay attention, you definitely know that's not a straight up guitar. So very cool. You don't really hear anybody doing that. Maybe in like jazz or something you do, but not for black metal. So anyway, that's the front. I love their logo. There we go. Then the back, track listing, logo. Put out through Osmos, like I did not mention that already. Really cool purple pink version of the record. Shame, if you like Hellenic black metal, you want something from that scene that is very unique sounding. This is definitely one of the most unique black metal records I've ever heard, honestly. Check it out, Necromantia, Scarlet Evil, Witching Black. Definitely the best. Let's stick with something like the background music, kind of. I'm sure was a big influence, maybe. This is Winter Into Darkness. Super heavy, depressing death doom from New York, I think. This is their only full length, which would have been cool to hear more, but I'd rather have a great one and done band than a band that did one classic record and then kind of phoned in a couple more. We have enough of those already, but yeah. Super heavy and slow death doom from New York, if I didn't mention that. To me, this sounds like Acts of the Unspeakable Era Autopsy played on like, instead of like 33 RPM, it'd be played on like 10 RPM. So it's like that record's like super slow and just dirty and nasty sounding. But anyway, there's the front. You kind of know what it sounds like by this, which it looks like a crust punk record too, kind of. If it had a different logo, it totally could be one. I'm surprised. Maybe there's been a crust punk band to use this album cover, but oh well. I always see it when I think of this album though. So anyway, there's that. You can see the front of that. Then the back, tracks. Another Sfart Records reissue. Nice white vinyl. Very cool. This has a booklet, I think. Yeah, a little book, which has a bunch of different pictures or whatever in it. So yeah, man, if you like Death Doom, you don't know this record, this is definitely an essential album from that scene. So check it out, Winter Into Darkness. Let's go to one of my favorite records from 2022, I believe. This is Cave In with the Great Below. So these guys are a Swedish black metal band. Well, I think it's just one guy, so it's technically a project. Super heavy metal influence, like speed metal. So this is like if Exciter made a Dissection record, kind of. So it's like Dissection mixed with Exciter. Super fast, crazy, great, like speed metal riffing, great solos, super awesome melodies. I mean, listen to the title track, that'll definitely sell you on this one. That opening guitar riff in that song is definitely the best song on this record. Awesome painting though. Apparently on Metal Archives they say Viking black metal. I don't hear that at all. I'm not sure why they use that for a comparison, but oh well. To me it should say like black/heavy metal, but that's just me. Anyway, there's a front. Cool painting. Don't come out. Then the back tracks put out through Black Lion Records. I'm not familiar with that label, so whatever. But anyway, there you got that. Show you the lyrics. There you go. Shit, man, like I said, if you like speed metal and black metal, you wonder what you would, if you wonder what those two things would sound like combined, this is definitely a awesome record to check out. So that is Cave In the Great Below. Just listen to the title track and you will definitely be sold. Killer record. The debute's good too, but that one's way better. Let's go to Germany for one of my favorite thrash records from that scene. This is Vendetta with Go and Live and Stay and Die. So German thrash from '88, if I did not mention that. They don't have any of the extreme metal elements of like a Pleasure to Kill, Obsessed by Cruelty. They're definitely more like the Tankard or Death Row vein, but they're still super thrash. But I'm saying that because the vocals are like super like almost proto death metal, so they're definitely more like your not Iron Savior. I'm drawing a blank, not important, but yeah. So if you like the Death Row and early Tankers, definitely one of the better records from that early scene. So anyway, there's the front of that one. Cool painting. It looks kind of like faded and not very good on this pressing, but oh well. It's about the music. It sounds good though, so that's just me nitpicking. Anyway, there's the front. Awesome. And then the back, the guys, tracks, Hammerheart reissue from doesn't say the year, so thanks Hammerheart. I know they're always good at not mentioning what year stuff came out. Cool flyers for Playing with Sodom. Was that Hellstar? Yeah, Hellstar. Then you got the one with Tankard and Hellstar, which if anybody watching was at the show, I'm extremely jealous. Then you got the lyrics. And then here you got a nice blue vinyl. So yeah, man, if you like your super aggressive thrash like the first two Death Row records, this is definitely an essential album in that scene. So, yep. Check it out, Vendetta. Go and Live, Stay and Die. From '88. Let's go to a death grind classic from Florida, South Carolina. I don't remember which one. Obviously, I'm talking about Terrorizer Will Downfall. Definitely by far their best record. After this, they were another band that should have been a one and done and just kind of realized they weren't ever going to top this, so why bother? But I don't know. Definitely their best record. This is kind of like a super group, you could say, because it has Oscar Garcia, who would go on to be in Nausea, Jesse, who would be in Napalm Death, and then you got Evil D and Pete the Feet, who would both be in Morbid Angel, but I'm sure you all know that, so. There's like a rivalry between this one, Repulsion is Horrified, kind of like early Death Grind superiority. I think this one, but Repulsion didn't ruin their legacy by putting out a couple more bad records, so I think Repulsion wins because they put out one good record and ran for the hills, so yeah, but overall, I still think this one's better though, so anyway, there's the front, super iconic front design. Then the back, you got Pete the Feet, Evil D, Jesse, and Oscar, so very cool. Earache reissue from 2017. Produced by Scott Burns, who at the time could not miss with putting out awesome records. All the lyrics, just black vinyl. Same, it's definitely a grindcore classic that any fans of the genre should be familiar with, so yep, check it out. Terrorizer Will Downfall. Alright, two more bands and we're done, so let's go to Turkey, I believe. This is Engulfed with Vengeance of the Fallen. So these guys are a Turkish death metal band. To me, they sound a lot like Dead Congregation, which I forget who mentioned this. I know somebody on YouTube mentioned this was how I found out about this, but to me this is like Graves of the Archangel's Dead Congregation mixed with the first two Mold records, so kind of like dark, slightly doomy, fast, like kind of intricate death metal from 2018, I think, or between 2018 and 2021 is when this came out. So anyway, if you like that style, definitely one of the best records in recent years. Put out through Massacre on Ujo, who if you know their scene, you kind of already know what this sounds like. But anyway, there's the front, love that. Then the back, guys in the band, tracks, again Massacre on Ujo. Little insert, very rad. I believe these guys share members with Burial Invocation, but don't quote me on that. Okay, man, if you like, again, like I said, if you like the first two Mold and early Dead Congregation, this is an awesome EP to check out. So that is Engulfed, Vengeance of the Fallen. I got 5 records by this last band, so who are we talking about? To finish off, we're going to talk about some Opeth. I have the first 2 on CD, which I will pull to discuss for a second, because these 2 were much more like there was a lot more black metal influence, which I don't know if that was from Catatonia, because the second Catatonia record, which is right here, Michael Ackerfeld did vocals on, which you can kind of tell he was influenced by, like, some of the work from this kind of fed into these first 2 records, so they definitely sound a lot more like Catatonia. And then later on, and he had, like, a more, like, black metal rasp to his vocals, too, and they had a lot of Iron Maiden influence, which is kind of ironic that once they ditched that influence, they decided to cover an Iron Maiden song, but it's kind of ironic coincidence, I guess. So like I said, to me, this is when they became Opeth. It came out in 1998, so the year I was born, which is pretty cool. I change my mind all the time which one's my favorite. Currently, this is not my favorite, but it's probably in my top 3 still, so anyway. Very cool picture. You can see the little lady in the front if you look close enough. I believe this was a concept record. I know the name of like track 1, and it's called Prologue. The last lyric is called April Ethereal, so the last word of every song is the beginning of the next track, I guess. So kind of an odd concept. I know it was something else besides that, but I know that was one of the things they did. Anyway, there's the back. Path through Back on Black, who normally get kind of crap for their reissues, but this one sounds fine to me, so whatever. 2008 reissue, which is cool. Let me show you the variants. Nice blue. Both the same, so I'm not going to bother pulling them out. Highlights on this one, I mean, obviously, Demon of the Fall is one of their best, but besides that, probably the Amen corner. Dun 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 dun. Or When. And they also cover Circle of the Tyrants by Celtic Frost and Remember Tomorrow, which, if most death metal bands covered Remember Tomorrow, that'd be kind of odd, but considering they have their proggy side, obviously, and they're not afraid to get, like, acoustic and more calm, I think they were a good band to cover it. Or, like, if later Edge of Sanity did that too, like Crimson Era, that'd be cool too, but yeah. Definitely one of the best late 90s prog death records in my opinion, so that is My Arms Your Hearse. Still Life, this is currently my number 2 favorite, which even though these flip-flop all the time, this one has been my favorite, but at the least, this one's always at least my number 2 favorite, so it's never been below number 2, so I guess you could say it technically is the favorite because it's never been below a certain spot anyway. My t-shirt that I have from Opeth of this album cover, it's for a reason, because it's one of their best album artworks and one of their best records too, but yeah, anyway. There's the front of this one, then the back. Favorite on this one is definitely God's Head Lament, or Face of Melinda is one of their best acoustic songs, but another highlight's probably Benighted. But all the tracks are awesome though, so yep. Killer put out through Peaceville 2010s, came out in 99 originally, which is cool. There's the gatefold tracks, dudes in the band, very rad. Here's insert 1. And then insert number 2. Very sweet. Yep, another masterpiece by them, man. What can I say? They did 2 in a row. Still Alive? Oh wait, no, they did a 3-peat because they put out this record next. Blackwater Park. Not my favorite, probably like my 4th favorite, honestly, which might be blasphemy to some. I like it, but I don't reach for this one as nearly as much as my other 3 favorites, but I don't know. Favorites on this one, probably Bleak, The Drapery Falls, Harvest, and Patterns in the Ivy, which is awesome. And side 4 has the song Blackwater Park, and then the live version of The Leper Affinity, which is pretty cool. Obviously produced by Steven Wilson of Porcupine Tree, which I'm sure a lot of you probably know that if you're a fan of this band. Originally in 2001, this came out. This is a 2010 Music on Vinyl reissue, which is cool. There's the gatefold. Here is the lyrics sheet. Pretty sweet. Just black. There's the first one. And then number 2. Killer record, but like I said, not my favorite. It was at one point, but it's gone down to probably number 4. But yeah, still a great record though. That's just me nitpicking. Anyway, Blackwater Park. And then we have what is currently my favorite record by them, Ghost Reveries. I mean, this has Ghost of Perdition, Banging of the Hounds, and the Grand Conjuration. I mean, literally, those are like 3 top 10 songs by them on one record, so it's pretty hard to beat. Besides this, another highlight is probably Hours of the Wealth or Beneath the Mire. This whole record slays, anyway. 2005, this came out. Unfortunately, this is their last record with their longtime lead guitar, so technically, I guess the last of the classic lineup, though they did have I think they had a drummer switch before this record or after, I don't remember exactly, but oh well, you know what I mean. This, like the classic 2 guitar duos is what I meant to say, but anyway. That's the front. Ironically, probably one of their worst album covers, but one of their best records, so I guess they definitely let the music do the talking on this choice, anyway. There's the front. Very cool. And the back, again, tracks, got the Music on Vinyl reissue thing. Very sweet. Let me show you the little poster again with the not very good artwork, but oh well. Then you got the insert with the lyrics. Very cool. So man, if you want to check them out, this is definitely the record I suggest to start with. Just listen on the song Ghost of Perdition or the Grand Conjuration. I think you will be sold if you're open to more progressive stuff. So anyway, masterpiece again. And then their last record with Death Metal, obviously, which I like this record. It's kind of a strange one because I think Michael's vocals by this time, where you could hear they were kind of fried, which is odd considering he did, I think, 3 albums this year. Because he did the Bloodbath, Unblessing, the Purity 10-inch, and the Fabulous Mastery, which he sounded great on those. But this one, he sounds kind of fried at times, so I'm assuming he did this one last, which would make the most sense considering he sounds the most fried. But anyway, front of that one, again, not very good album cover, but oh well. Crazy Guy picture. So the first song I ever heard by them was on this record. That was The Lotus Eater, which is one of the best songs on this one. Probably my favorite. Either that or Halo Parent or Hex Omega are the highlights. This is 2018 Roadrunner reissue. In 2018 Music on Vinyl, my bad. This is 2008 Roadrunner originally. Double LP, both on these cool gold looking vinyl. Here's the insert, if I can get to it. Or just a little, like, more pictures rather, instead of insert. Some other insert? No, it doesn't, whatever, doesn't matter. So, yep, Opeth, Watershed. As far as their, like, non-metal stuff, they're more progressive rock stuff. And I'm not really into it. I thought Sorceress was a step in the right direction, but my problem was, like, they kind of have, like, no guitars anymore. It's all about the super, like, kind of in-your-face keyboard, which if they would have ditched that and just left it straight guitars again, I would be okay with it, but I don't know, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the quality of this video looks slightly better, or at least not too bad. So thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.